Florida homeowners, however, pay the most for home insurance with the average annual rate of $10,996. They predict that to increase an additional 7% this year to $11,759. The second highest is Louisiana, sitting at $6,354. And you know what's interesting, guys? Florida, as we know, has the highest increase in listings in the nation. And you know who's right behind it? Louisiana. So, guys, they have issued a Florida housing market warning. Look out, everybody. Look out what's coming. It's kind of strange the direction they take this in, though, because the warning basically is from one real estate agent. If you wait till the interest rates drop, all the buyers are going to swarm in and you're going to be back in bidding wars. So you better get moving. Now's the time to buy. So the warning is actually FOMO. Buy. The warnings, you better buy now, even though the market's not that great. And you have Zillow coming out and you're saying they expect it to continue to decline. Realtors share thoughts on where Florida housing market stands. Nobody calls me for these. Why don't call me? I'll tell you. Somebody call me. I'll tell you where I think it stands. You may not like it. Realtors recommend you buy now as Zillow predicts the Florida housing market is slowing down. Goes on to tell a story about a lady in Fort Myers. Poor lady, listed her house too high, can't sell it. Hey, she's had it on the market since December with no bites. Since then, we've dropped it like 3 or 4 times, and now we're looking at 303, not much lower we can go in order to buy a new house. And unfortunately, guys, you don't decide the price. The market does. The buyers do. And apparently the price is too high. The big boom of 2020 is over. No kidding. You guys are about 2 years too late on that prediction. In fact, Zillow predicts the Florida housing market will slow down in the coming years. So you have realtors telling you, buy now, buy now, buy now. It's going to be the best time. If they lower rates, you are screwed, which maybe, I don't know. But then in the same article, literally the same sentence, they're saying Zillow's telling you the market's going to continue to slow down. Again, you guys decide what's best for you. So the agent goes on to say, the market is kind of a mixed bag right now, and there's a couple of reasons for that, but they don't give you all of them. They don't give you the real ones. They tell you, one of them is we have so many homes for sale in Southwest Florida. Oh, we know that. Everybody knows that by now. Why? Well, we've got a little bit of a hangover with the hurricane, with people having to repair their homes before they could sell, and a whole bunch of things like that. A whole bunch of things like that. What does that mean? So we have a sudden increase of inventory once everybody suddenly got their houses fixed. That is the explanation that they're going with. And though some of that is true, obviously it's not all of that. It's that these people also got their new insurance bills. They got their new tax bills. There have been hurricanes here for years, guys. It has never caused a mass exodus on this level that they're trying to attribute this to. And it's just, I personally don't believe that that's what it is. I think it's the new cost of living, it's the new taxes, it's the new insurance, and it's the pricing. You're pricing your homes like the interest rates are still 3%. So all the inventory is building up. You're going way over what the market can bear, and you forced out most of the locals with these prices. So what you're left with is a house you're putting on the market that you no longer really can afford or don't want to. And people who are coming in and looking and expecting to retire here or come to a low cost of living Florida are seeing these bills mount up, are getting insurance quotes for new homes they're buying, are seeing what the new taxes are going to be, are seeing what the job market specifically in Southwest Florida is like, and they're choosing to go elsewhere. So to just say it's because the hurricane delayed everybody putting their houses on, that's not true. We've been listing a lot of houses for the past 2 years. You guys have seen my graphs. I don't think that, did the hurricane slow some of that down? Is the hurricane causing some people to leave? Yes, but it's the cost of living, specifically here in Southwest Florida. Now, the agent goes on to say, although interest rates are high, more options mean more room to negotiate. That's absolutely true, guys, and you guys know that, and people working with me know that, and stories I've told, yes, things are very negotiable. Again, it's always up to you if you're going to decide if now is the time to buy or sell. Like, yes, if you're going to buy, guys, take advantage of this situation. Take advantage of this market. Let's try to get some deals. You guys know my stance on that. You've seen my previous videos. But to tell someone that you better buy right now or you are SOL, I don't know. But they caution if they wait until interest rates drop, all the buyers that have had uncertainty are going to swarm in. They're going to swarm in, guys, and the sellers will probably be in multiple offer situations, said Yathi. And why I don't think that is true, and we're going to look through this insurance report here, is because even if rates drop, that's not going to help the carrying cost. And that is what is really hurting us right now. It's not only the carrying cost of interest rates, they just gloss over the cost of insurance, they gloss over the cost of living, they gloss over the fact that your property taxes are going to be probably twice, maybe 3 times what the seller who's selling you the house taxes are. And I find that interesting that they don't address any of that in here, but it's just, we got slowed down by the hurricane. Now we're going to rock and roll when interest rates drop, which if you've been keeping an eye on things, where are we? We're in April. It went from six interest rates drops were coming this year, and now we're considering maybe one. One guy at the Fed is talking about raising them because inflation's still going crazy. The job market's supposedly super hot. And if you believe all the numbers, it does not look like rates are coming down anytime soon. But in a bit of good news and some relief, they have approved 8 new property insurance companies to enter the Florida market. We're also going to take a look at how just insanely absurd the Florida insurance situation has become, with some people paying $18,000 on average for premiums. But even if this stuff comes to fruition, guys, this isn't going to be felt for a year or two down the road. They go on, the state regulators are working to shed policies from the state's insurers of last resort, citizens, as I've told you guys many times, insurers of last resort, amid fears that it may not have enough money in the event of a natural disaster. So a lot of people, like I've mentioned in other videos, will get very excited when they get an affordable citizens quote, but do not count on them carrying you longer than a year. They may force place you on a higher premium. That's generally what I've been seeing if they have the opportunity to do so, because they're looking to get these policies off their books. So don't see it as a Hail Mary, save the deal kind of scenario. If the only insurance that you guys can get is citizens, something's going on and you need to, look a little deeper into that and why that is. So even with all this good insurance news, guys, they state right here, a new report from Insurify said home insurance rates in Florida are expected to rise 7% this year, driving the average premium to $11,759. Not 2 months ago, I read that the average was going to be $6,000. Where are these numbers coming from? Are you guys paying $11,000 in home insurance? If that's the average insurance premium in the state, that's going to decimate prices, because there's only a certain, I don't know a lot of people that can carry that would want to come to certain areas and buy down here. But also, I don't know people who would want to carry that. Like, that's an insane amount. I mean, even if you're coming from New Jersey, New York, California, where your taxes, well, maybe not California, where your taxes are traditionally high, you're going to get slapped with an average of $12,000 on home insurance. You got to get a good deal. My thought is going to be. So insurance agents like Robert Norberg of Arden Insurance state that until all those 8 companies start to open right throughout the state, he doesn't see any benefits for South Floridians. I don't either. We're in the same realm there. It's still a challenge, and I tell all my customers, you got to do your due diligence and shop the market. I like this guy. Maybe you guys have heard that here before. I like this guy. Do your due diligence and get your insurance during your due diligence period if you're buying a house, and absolutely shop the market aggressively. And guys, here echoing what I just said, for the most part, industry experts said the relief that residents are hoping for might not arrive until 2025, the earliest. Don't plan for this to kick. If they say that, don't plan for this to kick in to at least 26, 27, and we still don't know if it's going to be better or what it's going to jump to in the meantime. If they're telling you next year the average is going to be $12,000, the insurance premiums here, it's ridiculous. Well, how much higher can insurance go here, guys? Let's take a look at a recent report from Insurify. They expect home insurance rates to go 6% higher in 2024 for the entire country. That's after a 20% increase in the last 2 years. It's so bad in Florida, guys. They've put an entire just Florida section in this report of just about us. Nearly 30% of American homeowners are nervous about rising home insurance rates. So it's not just here in Florida, guys. And the sad thing is they sell you this, and it's not necessarily wrong. Get a mortgage, your costs are fixed. They're not fixed. And when things like this happen, they can drastically change what your mortgage is. Even if you own cash, this is going to affect you. So nationwide premiums don't look like they're that bad. Going in 2021 from $19.84 on average to $25.22. It's still a big increase. It's $600 when you throw things like the inflation we've had in there. That kind of makes sense. So nationally, not that big of a jump. Even if you get to 6%, you're looking at about $25.22. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you guys are paying anywhere close to this and where you are. Comment where you are as well. Florida homeowners, however, pay the most for home insurance with the average annual rate of $10,996 in 2023. Now, we get mixed numbers here. Not too long ago, I heard the average in Florida was $6,000. Now, this is saying it's $10,900. They predict that to increase an additional 7% this year. to $11,759. The second highest is Louisiana, sitting at $6,354. And you know what's interesting, guys? Because at the beginning of this video, they said, oh, people have had so much inventory hit in South Florida because they were waiting for their repairs on the hurricane. Well, Florida, as we know, has the highest increase in listings in the nation. And you know who's right behind it? Louisiana. So maybe it's not the hurricane alone, guys. It's the new insurance rates. People have always got hit by hurricanes. They've always got hit by storms. They've stayed. They've rebuilt. Sure, some people have left, but it's the new bill that is what I think is what's forcing most people out of here. And the other problem is the people that are coming in, they don't want to foot it either. So they're looking in other areas. 6 of the 10 most expensive cities for homeowners insurance are in the state of Florida. 60% of homeowners in Florida do not carry separate flood insurance, and 13% erroneously believed their standard home insurance policy included it. Well, I'll tell you what, if you got a mortgage and you're in a flood zone, you'll know that it includes it because they're going to force that on you. You cannot have a high velocity flood zone and have a mortgage and not have coverage on it. Also, Citizens is phasing in flood insurance for everybody over the next couple of years. And looking at the chart here, wouldn't you know it, guys, some of the states with the most expensive home insurance are also the states with the highest number of increase in listings because people just can't afford to do it. And people who were going to retire or come down here are second guessing it. This really lays it out here for you guys. Florida just taking a massive lead. Most expensive states for home insurance in 2024. Florida, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Texas. All the affordable states. No longer affordable, guys. When you look at it from the difference between the state and the U.S. average for 2023, Florida is $8,000 over the average insurance policy. Now, I'll tell you guys, I did just see an $8,500 policy thrown out there. The person didn't take it. They got it lower. I'm not seeing policies this crazy in Charlotte County. I don't know about Lee County, but in Sarasota and Charlotte counties, I'm not seeing stuff this nuts. You got to be on the water in an older home to see something like that. So I would love to know like where, if they broke this down, where in the state you're paying the most. That would be great. If anybody, again, in the comments has any input on that, any insurance guys, that would be awesome info to get. Oh, ask and I shall receive. Here are the costliest cities for home insurance. They're all right here. Jeez. Hialeah, Florida, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, West Palm Beach, Port St. Lucie, Florida. So all the Florida ones on the East Coast, which is interesting because that's not where we're seeing the massive inventory spike. It's on the West Coast, Southwest Florida coast by me right now. But all the costliest spots are currently on the East Coast. So maybe that's why I'm not seeing these $10,000. I mean, occasionally I do. I'm not seeing this $10,000, $11,000 average. I'd say here, even with a flood policy, if you get a decently built home, I would expect you to start falling in between $4,000 to maybe $8,000 if it's really drastic. So that must be where the $12,000 quotes on average are coming from, all on the east side of the state. Oh, it's actually way worse than I thought. Hialeah, average premium for 2023, $17,000, projected to go to $18,000. Miami, $16,000. Fort Lauderdale, $15,000. Okay, so this is not where, down till you get to Port St. Lucie, it's not where we're seeing the 11,000 quotes. Wow, that is astronomical. Now, they do go into detail some of the measures that they're using to address this. There's two major factors. Obviously, they're trying to go after the false litigation and the schemes and things like that that are causing some of these claims. The other proposal is tying homeowners insurance to unpaid mortgages. So only allowing homeowners to insure policies that match the unpaid mortgage principal rather than the home's replacement cost value. Well, good for the bank, I guess. They'll get their money back, but you ain't getting your house back if you only insure for the balance of the unpaid mortgage. That is, man, super risky. That's how bad it's got down here, guys. These are the crazy things that they're trying to come up with, and nearly 64% of all homeowners told the survey that they would consider it if they got lower rates. That's wild. The very next paragraph, while the idea could lower premiums, homeowners would be vulnerable to life-changing financial losses. No kidding. So very interesting stuff here, guys. I will link this in the description if you want to look at this study. And all this talk of, oh, if you rent, the landlord's just going to pass this on to you. Well, they can't, guys. The market can bear what the market can bear. It does not matter what the landlord's costs are. And here on Yahoo Finance, they call out what I've been saying for the better part of 9 months now. Rents will continue to fall due to a lot of supply in the pipeline, economists says. You guys know how it is here in Florida right now, in Port Charlotte, in Northport, in Cape Coral. Things are not getting rented. Landlords are not getting what they're asking. The rents are staggeringly down from what they were asking 2 years ago. They're still too high, which unfortunately is the case. But even if they get a nice deal out there, most people do not want to deal with it. And anyone who would have has already left the area or decided, I'm going to take one of these builder incentives, or I'm going to go with an FHA, I'm going to buy a house and do whatever I got to do to never rent again, because they screwed everybody over after the hurricane. Never mind the 21, 22 price increases. The hurricane came and they saw blood in the water, and they jacked all their rents up because they knew people were going to have nowhere to go and people were going to need houses. Now they got to reap what they sow, because not only has the competition exploded, not even just in Southwest Florida, all over the country with all these apartments they've built, their product has lost interest in doing business with them almost entirely. That's what I got for today, guys. If you like this video, give me a like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.